Welcome, welcome. All right, welcome to the Washington Council for High School and College Relations Virtual College Planning Day. Thanks for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. First off, you can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any point in time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to sign up for additional ones. You can find them all at strivescan.com/wash, W-A-S-H, council, C-O-N-C-I-L, all one word. And this presentation and all of our presentations are being recorded, so you can find those at that same website in about a week. And so in this session, we are in session B10. We're going to start out with Cornish College of the Arts and then Yakima Valley College. We are waiting still for our representative from Washington, University of Washington, Bothell. And when they do arrive, we will probably put them at the end of the session. So just a little programming note there for you. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to Albert from Cornish College of the Arts. Take it away, Albert.
Awesome, thanks so much. Let me pull this up. All righty. Hello, everyone. My name is Albert Rubio, and I am one of the admissions counselors here at Cornish College of the Arts. Cornish is the premier visual and performing arts college in the Pacific Northwest, and we are located in Seattle, Washington. We're over 100 years old, and we are also one of the few arts colleges in the country where visual and performing artists get to study together. For arts colleges, you normally see just visual arts or just performing, so it's wonderful to have them both together. This is our founder, Nelly Cornish, or Aunt Nelly, as many of the students used to call her back in the day. And she and the many artists who followed her believed in innovative education through exposure to all the arts. And that perspective of hers really led to some of the greatest innovations in the arts during the early 20th century. It shaped much of how we create and appreciate work today. And it also helped to put the Pacific Northwest and specifically Seattle on the map as a thriving arts community. And our mission here is to provide students who are aspiring to become practicing artists with an educational program of the highest possible quality in an environment that nurtures creativity and intellectual curiosity, while preparing them to contribute to society as artists, citizens, and innovators. And we realize this mission by offering baccalaureate studies in the performing and the visual arts, and by serving as a focal point for public presentation, artistic criticism, participation, and discussion of the arts. Our degrees are also designed to help our artists build all of the skills that they would need to navigate the professional landscapes of the 21st century. We'll be educating you in critical thinking, creative problem solving, collaboration, as well as the generation of new work. You'll be focusing on traditional as well as interdisciplinary and experimental art forms. And your faculty members at Cornish are professional working artists, and they're committed mentors as well. They maintain thriving careers in their respective fields. They maintain all of their industry connections. And this really provides them with all of the knowledge and the skill necessary to train artists of today, because they are still making work today. The Cornish community is also dedicated to small classes, mentorship, and personalized instruction. The average class size is about 13, and the faculty to student ratio is 1:7. So as an artist studying at Cornish, you are going to get all of that individualized and personal instruction that's super important to a successful arts education. Cornish is an urban campus located right in the heart of downtown Seattle, and we are immersed within the arts and culture of the city. Seattle is one of the world's epicenters for the visual and the performing arts, which really makes it an ideal city to pursue an artistic education. Seattle houses some of the country's best live music, theater and dance companies, a popular music scene that has garnered both national as well as international attention. We've got about 20 live theater venues. And we also have Pioneer Square, which is known as one of the country's most prominent art gallery districts. Seattle is also home to the Fifth Avenue Theater, Seattle International Film Festival, Seattle Art Museum, and the Upstream and Bumbershoot Music Festivals, just to name a few of the many arts organizations in the city. And our students and faculty and alumni are always interfacing with them all the time. Essentially, Seattle is a thriving professional community for practicing artists and designers, and Cornish has been at the forefront of that creative scene for more than 100 years. In terms of our exact location, we are located in Seattle's South Lake Union District, and that's where Amazon maintains all of their campus spaces. So it's super built up, super safe. We're actually right down the street from the Amazon biospheres, and our campus is surrounded by creative agencies, architecture and design firms, many nonprofits, and we're within walking distance from all of the prominent creative spaces for art and culture. You'll find Cornish alumni, faculty, and even your current students making lots of bold, innovative work all over town. You're also going to have access to a variety of state-of-the-art creative and performance spaces. And what's great is that these are available for use by all of our majors, regardless of their discipline. So visual artists are making art in individual and shared studios, materials labs, editing and recording suites, and much more. And performance artists are rehearsing, performing, and learning in a wide array of practice spaces, black box studios, historic concert halls, and the iconic Cornish Playhouse and Al Haddif Black Box Studio, which are located in Seattle Center. That's where the Space Needle is, but it's also a large complex that houses all of the city's large-scale arts and performance venues. And we are also constructing 3 new spaces, a new public-facing gallery, state-of-the-art theater with a Constellation sound system. Will be the only college in the country to have that. And then a brand new $2.5 million renovation of our sculpture lab. So super excited to have those coming online this fall and fall of 2022. Currently, Cornish is training students from 38 states and 18 countries, and many of them live right here in the Cornish Commons, which is our state-of-the-art 20-story residence hall that we had built with artists in mind. The Commons features plenty of space and lots of special amenities like private bathrooms, movement studios, practice rooms. There's even an art studio up there. 20th floor is also reserved just for residents, and it boasts amazing views in all directions. It's also got a full-size kitchen, gym, app-connected laundry and dryer, and an outdoor area with a grill. So it's you can really live, perform, create, all without ever leaving the building. We offer Bachelor of Fine Arts degrees at Cornish. That's pretty much what we're known for. Sometimes we're called the BFA school. We offer BFAs in the visual arts and all of these degrees that you see over here, and BFAs in the performing arts for the degrees that you see over here. But for our music students, we offer a Bachelor of Music. And then for transfer students who are applying to Cornish with an associate's degree or equivalent, we allow them to finish a degree in Cornish in 2 years and get a Bachelor of Arts in any of these options that you see over here. So beginning in our 2019-2020 academic year, Cornish actually became the first and the only art college in the country to lower its tuition. We lowered it by 20%, and we award over $4 million in scholarships each year to over 95% of our students, with all of our admitted students being automatically considered for those merit-based scholarships that are guaranteed for 4 years. We also partner with the Washington College Found Scholarship and the Washington College Grant. For any students who qualify, we offer those funds to them. If you are interested in applying to Cornish, you can go to apply.cornish.edu/apply, or you can apply through the Common App as well. And the app for 2022 is going to open in September, but we do still take admissions on a rolling basis after our regular deadline. So we still are taking apps right now. And priority consideration is going to be given to students who apply for admission and financial aid by our early action deadline of December 1st. And all of those applying for scholarship consideration should really try to apply by February 15th. After that February 15th deadline, we will still take and consider applications. We will just admit students on a space available basis. And we can't promise that we'll have the same amount of scholarship funding available to offer students who apply after February 15th. Thanks so much for listening. We hope that if there are any artists in the room that you will consider applying to Cornish College of the Arts next year. Learn more at cornish.edu for all of that little detail stuff that didn't mention today. And you can reach out to admission@cornish.edu with any questions, literally anything, and we will get you in touch with the right counselor or the right person at the college. Thanks, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you, Albert. Okay, next up, we've got Yakima Valley College. Carla, take it away.
Just 1 second. Let me share my screen. Alrighty. Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Carla Robidon, and I am the Student Outreach and Retention Coordinator at Yakima Valley College in Yakima, Washington. I am here today to talk to you guys a little bit about the admission process at YVC, some things we have to offer, and then hopefully answer some questions if you guys have any. All right, so we'll get started. So how to get started at YVC. So the first step that we want you guys
Carla,
to
sorry to interrupt. I just want to make sure we are seeing your Zoom browser window.
There? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I went to the admission. Okay, let me stop sharing again.
There we go. Perfect. There we go.
Awesome. So how to get started. So the first thing that we want you guys to do as soon as you know that you want to be students at YVC is to fill out an admission application. Our admission application is really, really simple to fill out, and it's a really quick application. It literally only takes like 10 or 15 minutes to fill out. It's only going to ask you for your general information, such as your name, your address, email, phone number, that kind of stuff. It's not going to ask for any transcripts. It's not going to ask for a personal statement or references. It's just going to be very general information. One thing that I want to know is to make sure that you're using a personal email when you're filling out this application. Your high school email will expire after you graduate, and so make sure you're using a personal. That way we're sending all the information to the correct one. So after you fill out your application, which can be found fully online at this link, or even if you just go to yvcc.edu and then just type up application, it'll pop up. After that, we want you to pay our admission fee. So the admission fee at YVC is $30. A question that I frequently get is, do we have a fee waiver? And unfortunately at YVC, we don't. It is really important, however, to pay this fee as soon as you want to get started at YVC and you want to continue that process, because we will not process your application or give you a student ID number until that fee is paid. So just make sure that you're paying that as soon as you want to be a student with us. After you have paid your fee, we ask that you select your academic pathway, and I'll talk a little bit more about pathways shortly, but this is just basically the degree or certificate that you guys want to pursue. After you have selected your pathway, we ask for you to establish placement for English and math before you can register for classes. And there's a couple different ways at YVC that you can establish placement. You can do that through high school transcripts, SAT scores, ACT scores, or Smarter Balance scores. If for whatever reason you guys do not get placement for through any of those documents for English and math, that's totally fine. Then we're just going to ask you to take our in-house placement test. Our placement test is fully online right now, and it is actually currently free. Previously, when we were open and before the pandemic, we did have the placement test was done in person, and it was a $20 fee for both of the exams. However, right now it's fully online and it's completely free. And I've also heard it's gotten a lot easier. The math portion is not super long anymore. It's just a couple questions and then it will place you into your class. So that's kind of a nice thing right now that we have going on. After you have completed that step with admission, or even before actually you get started with your application with us, we ask that you complete your financial aid application. The financial aid application typically opens early October. So it's really, really important that as soon as you guys know you want to go to college, that you start applying, that you select YVC as one of your schools. That way we get your application on time and everything is processed. Once you do become a student at YVC, you will get access to a financial aid portal. And through this portal, you'll be able to check your financial aid application, see if you're missing any documents, see if you're not, and also track the status of your award. And so it's really important that you're going in there and checking that to make sure everything is sent in, and that way your award is good to go for the fall. After you have completed your financial aid, we would typically ask you guys to come do an in-person tour and check out our campus. However, our campus is still currently closed to the public, but we are offering a virtual tour. And so if you guys are interested in looking at that, the link is here, or again, just go to our website. And we do have a really nice virtual tour of all of our buildings and classes. And so that's pretty new and it's really nice. So you guys do have that opportunity to check it out there. So now I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about pathways. And as I mentioned earlier, this is just basically the degree or certificate that you guys want to pursue. And so at YVC, we have a ton of different programs. We do have 6 pathways, and those pathways are going to be in arts and humanities, healthcare, business, we have an exploratory pathways, social science and education, and STEM. And so these are just some of the programs under each of these pathways. These are not all of them. There's a huge list on our website. And so you guys have quite a few to pick from. Pathways are not set in stone. So if, for example, you start off with a healthcare pathway and you take a quarter or two and you decide, nope, this is not for me, I want to switch over to business, then that's completely fine. You can make that change. Just let your advisor know right away. That way they put you on that right pathway and you're taking the correct classes and everything is good to go. The other pathway that I want to talk about a little bit is exploratory. And so a lot of students, when they're starting off at college, they don't know what they want to study or what program they want to get into, and that's fine. We will start you off with exploratory. You can take a quarter or two of different classes, and then you can make your selection afterwards. The other thing I want to mention about these pathways is that we do now offer, or about our degrees actually, is that we do now offer bachelor degrees at YVC. So we used to be strictly a two-year community college, but as of 2016, we started offering bachelor degrees, and we do have 4 bachelor degrees. Those are going to be in business, they're in IT, teacher education, and dental hygiene is the 4th one. And so if any of those pathways or any of those bachelor degrees, I'm sorry, is something that you guys want to pursue, then you guys can do that fully at YVC without having to transfer to a university. And it's also going to be at a fraction of the cost. And so you guys do now have the ability to complete a bachelor's at YVC. So what does YVC offer? Typically when our campus is up and running, and even with our campus being closed, we still offer a lot of resources to our students. We offer community service opportunities for those who are wanting to get involved with the community. We do put on cultural events throughout the year when our campus is open. We have a newly renovated fitness center that was just redone about a year ago, and it's really nice. We have all brand new equipment, and you guys can go in there and work out. We do have sports on our campus. So we have women's basketball, women's volleyball, women's soccer, men's basketball, and men's baseball. And so if athletics is something that you guys are interested in, then we do offer that. We also have trio and camp programs. And so if you guys are interested in more information, just go to our webpage, type trio or camp, and all the requirements will pop up in all their information. We do also have Running Start, and we do have a lot of students from our local colleges who attend Running Start at YVC. And the other thing that we offer that a lot of students and people don't know is that we have dorms on our campus. A lot of two-year colleges or community colleges and junior colleges don't offer dorms on their campus. However, we do, and we do have a little short dorm tour on YouTube. If you guys want to check it out and see what our dorms look like, they're right on our campus. YVC is located almost kind of in the middle of Yakima, and so there's a ton of things going around, transportation, restaurants, and so you guys can easily walk to any places if you choose to live in dorms. We do also have disability services, financial aid, and oops, oh my gosh, it keeps moving. And we also have a couple tutoring centers on our campus. We have a general tutoring center with a bunch of different subjects. And if you guys are interested in becoming tutors, then there are a ton of opportunities to become a tutor, and you will be getting paid a month above minimum wage, and they work with your schedule. So it's a great place to have a job. And then of course we have a general, just a math tutoring center specifically for math, one specifically for writing, and we have our advising center with our college advisors and counselors. If you guys ever want to visit with them, ask questions, talk about pathways, talk about transferring, all that good stuff. We also, so most of our YVC classes are 5 credits. They meet 5 days a week, just like you normally would in high school. We meet for about 50 minutes. However, if you do have like a lab, like a chemistry lab, your class might be about 2 to 3 hours long. However, that'll just be like once a week. Most of our classes are in the morning. However, we do have midday classes. We have afternoon classes, we have online classes, just because a lot of our students are working or they do have families. And so we want to make sure that we have classes available multiple times of the day. We do run on a quarter system, and so our quarters are about 10 to 11 weeks. And one thing I do want to mention here for our classes is that if you guys are looking to start off with small classes to get a lot of one-on-one time with your professors, then YVC is a good place to do it. Our student to faculty ratio is only about 17:1, which means you're getting a lot of one-on-one time with your professor. I believe our largest class is only about 35 students. And so we really do have small classes. We don't have TAs or grad students like grading anything or teaching you. It's all going to be your professor. So if you're looking for that, something more personable and small, then this is going to be a good place for you guys to start. And right now, currently, because of the pandemic, our campus is still closed to the public, but we hope to open up soon. So we have two locations. Our main location is in Yakima, Washington, and that is where we have our dorms. And then we have a smaller campus in Grandview, Washington. We also have learning centers in Toppenish, Sunnyside, and Ellensburg for students who are closer to those and they can pay fees there and do placement tests, all that good stuff. And that is basically the end of my presentation. If you guys have any questions, feel free to use the chat box. I'm happy to answer them. I have also put my contact information here. If you guys want to reach out to me one-on-one, I'm more than happy to set up a time to meet with you or to talk to you on the phone and answer all your questions. Thanks for having me, guys.
Great. Thank you very much, Carla. Appreciate it. All
Thank
right.
you.
Next up, we've got University of Washington, Bothell. Markel, take it away, sir. Oh, you are muted. There we go.
Thanks, Dan, for introducing me. I'm gonna just jump and share my screen and give a a PowerPoint on the University of Washington, Bothell. So my name is Markel Johnson. I am a admissions advisor. So similar to the other people on this call, basically you'll be talking to me most of the time, and I'm a resource to you, making your bridge to college a little bit easier. So let's get right in this. So one of the biggest things about the University of Washington Bothell is something that's we call UW Connections. So Bothell is one of the 3 UW campuses. It is around 30 to 40 minutes above Seattle. That's including some traffic. And then there's also the Tacoma campus. So when you think about the UW, all 3 campuses are going to get the same degree. Regardless of which one you go to, you will get the UW degree. It doesn't say a name like, oh, this is UW Bothell, Tacoma, or Seattle. It just says University of Washington. Similar to what Carla said as well, we have specific faculty for students. Being a smaller campus, we don't have TAs teaching classes, and our teachers aren't focused on research. They're literally student focused. They're smaller class sizes, which oftentimes leads to more internships and more jobs once you have graduated. So that's something to think about when you're thinking about where you want to go to college and what you want to do there, because your success is going to be dependent on you and what your college can give you. So at a glance, we have around 6,000 students. Our average class size is around 30. Sometimes you'll get classes with around 14 students. If you are in the biology or engineer, you might have slightly bigger classes, but our biggest lecture hall is under 300 students. So most students might not ever have a class there, just depending on what major you choose to go into. Our tuition is going to run about just over $11,000, which is around the range of the Seattle campus and the Tacoma campus as well. They're all in that same general area. So for our first year students, the coalition application is due November 15th, and that is an early action deadline, which means we let you know that you got in, but you don't have to let us know that you want to go here. It is not a binding decision. It is a non-binding, which means we are just giving you this heads up. You got in here. It's a great confidence boost. By January, you will know if you got into your first college, which is very, very early. So we are on the coalition application, and our regular decision deadline is going to be January 15th. So that is for us to let you know by around the March area. But it's still a regular decision deadline. You might not have all your stuff together, but by then, if you have your stuff ready, January 15th is a great time to get that application in. And as well as FAFSA, the financial aid deadline, prior to deadline is going to be January 15th as well. So you're going to want to make sure that you get your FAFSA in early too. May 1 is the National Decision Day. So for basically all students, you're going to want to make sure, like, whatever college you go to, that you let them know by May 1st, this is where I want to go. As I said a little bit earlier, we are on the coalition, which means that Seattle was on the coalition as well. So you can get a conglomerate of different applications to turn in at one time by using the coalition application. So at the University of Washington, Bothell, we do something called holistic review. So that means we're going to look at not only your GPA, but we're going to look at grade trend. When we say you're literally bigger than a score, it's something we mean. We're really looking at all parts of the application. So when I say grade trend, that means if you started off you came into high school hot, you were A's and B's, wow, great, but then you kind of fizzled down, you got some C's and D's, then that's going to mean something else, because we're going to wonder what that's coming from. We like to see an upward or consistent grade trend, and that just looks really good on your application. Beside that, we're going to look at your rigor curriculum. I know, like, I was a senior and I was like, I'm about to take these easy classes. I got senioritis. But if you're going to do that, just make sure you have some hard classes in there as well, because we want to make sure that you're challenging yourself, because once you get here, it's definitely going to be a challenge as well. We're going to look at personal statement. Make sure you're writing about yourself, not others, because we're not accepting them. We want to accept you. So make sure that you are writing for you, not for someone else. Activities and extracurriculars. You have 8 spots. So make sure you fill up all 8 spots if you can. If you can't, it's okay. But that includes working, taking care of siblings. All of those things are a part of your activities and extracurriculars, and you want to make sure that you put those in. Additional comments is a section for you to put maybe information that we might not get from reading your personal statement, or might not get from just a plain application. So if you may have went through a breakup, or you might have not been able to adapt to the COVID switch to online, anything like that, and your grades might have been affected, additional comments is your chance to put that in right there. So we will be test optional. So that means if you want to, you can send us your test scores. If you don't have to. It won't harm you, it won't hurt you, but it's all up to you. So are there any questions for myself? Here's my email at the bottom. You can ask. You can feel free to email me and reach out. Thanks, Dan.
Okay, perfect. So we've got 5 minutes remaining. And what I'd love to do is just give us an opportunity to chat a little bit more generally about the process. I'm going to invite all of our reps back and ask, is there any general college admission advice that you'd give to any of our students here today? What advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And if we want to just take this in the same order that you presented in, so Albert, Carla, and then Markel, that would be great.
Sure. Last session said this as well, but always encourage students to open doors before you close them, especially if it's, I would love to apply to this school, but I don't know if I can afford another application fee. Ask if they do a fee waiver. We're an art school. If you're like, I haven't had a lot of experience building a portfolio or prepping an audition, talk to us. We might have programs that are for students just like you. Cornish does portfolio reviews, and I coach students on their audition for the theater department. So we are here to help you. We're institutions of learning. And so that's what we're here to do, even when you're in this application process. So just try to open those doors before you close them, and ask for what you need.
Awesome. Yeah, my advice to you guys would be to do your research. If you guys have make a list of the colleges that you are interested in, go on their website, check out their programs, check out their cost of attendance, cost of living, check out what kind of resources they offer. It's really important that you guys go and do your research. I kind of wish myself I would have done that a little bit more when I was an undergrad. But yeah, make sure that you go in there and then that you're asking questions. It's really important that you guys are asking questions if you guys have any doubts with anything or are not sure on certain colleges, or if they offer certain programs. Make sure that you reach out to them. All of us reps that are here and the colleges have available are there for you guys and want to help you and want to make sure that your process and getting into college is as simple as possible. So ask questions and do your research.
So for me, it would be honestly do what's best for you and what fits you. A lot of times as students, like, we have so many pressures going on from other people. our parents, friends, like, oh, you should do this, you should do that, go to this college, or, even social media, like, this is the best college, or this one's great. Just figure out what you need as a student. And then when you're looking at your college scouting, figure out, all right, does this college have this is what I want myself. So that's going to be huge for you, because once you get to that campus, sometimes when you're just there because somebody else told you to do, you might not enjoy it as much as when you're like, I wanted to do this, I wanted to go to this college because this and this, they have this that I like and that I like. So just pay attention to those small things and little details for yourself.
Awesome. Okay, we've got 1 minute left. Here's our lightning round. What's your favorite event or tradition on your campus? Oh, Carla, do you want to go first?
Yeah, can she go first?
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. At YVC, we have a welcome back day before the fall fall quarter starts. I'm sorry. And back here, which is like our courtyard area at YVC, we bring in a bunch of vendors. We have like a rock climbing wall, we have a mechanical bull, we bring in food vendors, we have organizations that are on our campus, and so we invite all of our students to come in and take advantage of this. It's a fully free event, food, drinks, everything, and we encourage you guys to bring your family and friends and check out what YVC has to offer.
For me, it's when the students are presenting their senior showcases, their senior thesis projects, and their BFA shows in their senior year. And you just get to see what the visual artists and the performing artists have kind of learned over 4 years. And we introduce them to the professional community. And it's a wonderful kind of few days of events that you get to just see beautiful, beautiful art being made.
For me, it'd probably be our Aim for College event, which is a couple of days event as well. And it's really a chance for our seniors and juniors to learn college terms and be kind of readying our students for starting college. It's a great chance for first generation students and maybe some students who might not have as much information to gain a lot of information.
Awesome. All right, that was our great responses. Thank you very much to our reps for joining us. For everyone, there's students in the audience, when you close this window, you'll get a very quick 4-question survey that will appear on your screen. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. Also, we have 1 more hour of sessions coming up. Be sure to sign up for those on the schedule here. So there's the 10:40 to 11:15 sessions. Be sure to sign up. You've got time. And then we will have recordings of all these sessions, this one and all the other ones, available on the same website where you registered. So be sure to check this out next week. Thank you again to all of our reps, and have a great day, everyone.